Center of a high-profile court battle for several years now. She's the transgender widow of a Wharton County firefighter who died while battling a fire in 2010. She stood to inherit around $600,000 in death benefits, but her husband's family filed a lawsuit to keep her from receiving those benefits because she is transgender. Joining us this morning, Nikki Araguz. First off, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
The court battle that you're involved with has been going on for quite some time. Do you think yesterday's court rulings might assist you in getting the benefits that you were denied?
Well, the Defense of Marriage Act was actually used against me in invalidating my marriage. So I believe that now that they've got part of their argument stripped away from them, I think that it's definitely going to be a big, huge benefit for us. Also having a higher court ruling in the favor of marriage equality in this country, I think is a definite.
Here in the state of Texas, your marriage was ruled invalid because you were born a male. You're appealing, and you believe your case could potentially make it all the way to the Supreme Court now?
So we've already vowed not to. We're working on year 3 of this court case, and we've vowed to not give up the fight until we reach the Supreme Court in a ruling that's fair and equal to me and to my late husband. I mean, our marriage deserved to be respected, so.
You were there in Mr. Kateen's office when the word came down. What was your feeling emotionally as you were seeing that writing on the screen?
I was just overwhelmed. For the Edith Windsor case, who struck down this Defense of Marriage Act in her fight, it sort of really just overwhelmed me with the emotion that victory will be mine one day. And just like Mrs. Windsor, it takes time, but we will see equality in this country. And I think that when we're in my case in particular in Texas is so important, because when you have an opportunity to present my case as they are as a same-sex relationship, and they struck it down for that. If we choose to win based on the arguments that they struck it down on, then that means that in Texas, there's going to be a legal same-sex marriage according to Texas law. And that, I think, will open the door and create a domino effect across the country.
Your legal team was there with you yesterday. What were they saying?
We're all just as hopeful. We're waiting on a response from the 13th District Court of Appeals to get our court date and our hearing. And I believe that this is really about, they were really waiting on these rulings, and it's our time. So.
The family of your ex-husband, or your deceased
late husband, sure.
How are they looking at your situation since it's still in the courts?
I wish I knew. I haven't seen my stepchildren since the funeral. It's been nearly 3 years, and I haven't spoken to any of the family members. Some distant cousins and things of that nature have reached out to me. But, I think that it sort of reminds me of the 60s and the people who thought that segregation was okay, and they still fought for it, even though the rest of the country was starting to go, this isn't what socially is acceptable anymore. I think that that's where we're at. And these cases yesterday are really accelerating the social climate in this country. What is not acceptable is inequality.
Nikki Araguz, thank you for joining us, and you're going to be joining us in our 8 o'clock hour as well.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.